Welcome to another episode of Ancient Civilization's Fatherhood. Today we're delving into the captivating world of ancient Chinese fatherhood, and let me tell you, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. While the culture is rich in values, beliefs, and traditions that still influence our lives to this day, there's also a dark side to their fatherhood practices. Are you curious yet? Good, because we're about to take a deep dive into the world of ancient Chinese fatherhood and uncover both the bright and the dark sides. So, hold on tight and let's get started. Fatherhood has been a pillar of ancient Chinese culture for thousands of years, shaping the destiny of empires, families, and individuals. It was revered as a sacred and essential duty, which held the power to influence generations to come. Fathers in ancient China were not only responsible for their own family's well-being, but also for the harmony and prosperity of their community. They were expected to be exemplars of wisdom, integrity, and benevolence, leading by example and instilling moral values in their children. Ancient China was one of the oldest and most advanced civilizations in the world, renowned for its inventions, art, philosophy, and governance. Its values were deeply rooted in Confucianism, Taoism, and Buddhism, which emphasized respect for authority, harmony, virtue, and compassion. Family was considered the cornerstone of society, with the father as the head of the household, responsible for providing for his family, educating his children, and ensuring their moral and social development. Fatherhood was not just a biological function in ancient China, but a social and spiritual obligation that carried immense responsibility and rewards. Fathers were expected to be paragons of virtue, discipline, and wisdom, who set a high standard of conduct for their children and their peers. They were also expected to be mentors, advisors, and protectors of their family, guiding them through life's challenges and preparing them for their roles in society. The father-son relationship was particularly valued, as it embodied the transmission of knowledge, skills, and values from one generation to the next. In ancient China, the ideal father was a man of wisdom who embodied the virtues of kindness, honesty, courage, and humility. He was also a man of discipline who set clear rules and boundaries for his children while nurturing their curiosity, creativity, and independence. He was a teacher who shared his knowledge and experience with his children, preparing them for their future roles in society. He was a provider who worked hard to ensure his family's material and emotional needs were met. And, most importantly, he was a role model who lived by his values and principles, inspiring his children to do the same. The role of fathers in shaping the character and values of their children. Fathers in ancient China played a crucial role in shaping the character and values of their children through education, discipline, and example. They believed that children were born with a pure and innocent nature, which could be cultivated through a process of moral and intellectual development. Fathers were expected to be actively involved in their children's education, teaching them reading, writing, music, and moral precepts. They also had the responsibility to correct their children's misbehaviors, using punishment as a means of moral instruction. Above all, they were expected to be role models of good behavior, demonstrating the virtues they wished to instill in their children. The dark side of ancient Chinese fatherhood is a complex and often overlooked topic. While fathers were seen as the ultimate authority figures, with immense power and respect in society, they also held significant responsibility and were held to incredibly high standards. Fathers who failed to meet these expectations often faced severe consequences, including loss of social status and even public humiliation. Additionally, some fathers were known to engage in physical punishment towards their children, often using cruel and excessive methods to discipline them. This was seen as a way to toughen children up and prepare them for the harsh realities of the world, but it often had long-lasting psychological effects on the children, leading to emotional trauma and other issues later in life. One common practice was foot binding, where young girls' feet were tightly bound to prevent them from growing larger than 3 inches in length. This was considered a symbol of beauty and status, and fathers often encouraged their daughters to undergo this painful and debilitating process. This practice continued for centuries until it was finally banned in the early 20th century. Another disturbing aspect of fatherhood in ancient China was the preference for male children over female ones. Sons were seen as more valuable because they could carry on the family name and provide for their parents in old age. This led to the abandonment or infanticide of female babies, which was a common practice until the introduction of the one-child policy in the 20th century. Another aspect of the dark side of ancient Chinese fatherhood was the emphasis placed on producing male heirs. Fathers who failed to produce a son were often looked down upon and could even face divorce or abandonment by their wives. This pressure often led to extreme measures, such as taking multiple wives or resorting to infanticide in the hopes of having a male child. So what can we learn from ancient Chinese fatherhood, and how can we apply it in our lives as parents in today's world? Well, we can start by valuing the importance of our role as fathers and actively engaging in our children's upbringing. We can also learn from the mistakes of fathers in ancient China and strive to be kind, loving, and responsible towards our children. We can create a strong bond with our children that is built on love, respect, and trust. In conclusion, ancient Chinese fatherhood is a fascinating topic that has so much to teach us about the importance of fatherhood and the role fathers play in society and within their families. By studying and learning from ancient Chinese fatherhood, we can become better parents and create a better future for our children. So, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button and don't miss another episode on ancient civilization fatherhood. And remember, watch the previous episodes to get a better understanding of how fatherhood has evolved throughout history. Thank you for joining me on this journey, and I'll see you in the next episode.